Welcome to the Mike Al Show,
I'm Mike.
and I'm Al. Today we're going to be predicting the Super Bowl, reviewing the Pro Bowl with flag football and all that stuff, talking about stupid LeBron, the Nets trading away their team, and Purdue. First off, we have the Super Bowl. Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl, Mike?
I have the Eagles winning 23-20 because the Eagles, their defense is really good and they're just all unstoppable. I don't see them losing.
I agree with you. I think the Eagles will win this game in a blowout of 38-27. I wanted the Chiefs to win. I think Patrick Mahomes is just a really good quarterback, winning MVP, which is no surprise. But the Eagles are just too unstoppable. The only team that could have beat them was San Francisco, and they couldn't do that after all their quarterback stuff. And the Eagles just put up too many points, and the Chiefs defense won't be able to stop them. What do you think about that?
I think I agree with that. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is really good. Him and Travis Kelce, they'll put up a good fight. And I don't even know if Patrick Mahomes is still hurt or not, but he's probably still got some issues.
Well, him and Travis Kelce are both kind of hurt, but it's not like they're not going to play in the Super Bowl because of it, biggest game of the year. But it doesn't really matter. I think they'll put up a really good fight. They'll keep it close enough, but then by the end of the game, the Eagles will just have too much power left in there and absolutely destroy them. Even though the coaching expertise of Andy Reid, it just won't help that much. Next up, we're going to go over the Pro Bowl game. What do you think about that whole flag football and the new Pro Bowl they have?
Most boringest thing ever. All the quarterbacks in there sucked. I don't even get it. Just don't even do the Super Bowl. Just do the worst team in the NFL versus XFL team, the best XFL team, and then whoever wins gets their spot in the NFL. It probably will be a big blowout, but it has to be better than the Pro Bowl.
Okay, I think that's a stupid idea. That's just no. Because the NFL team would absolutely murder the XFL team. There's a whole entire reason they're not in the NFL. So that would just be a stupid game. But I think the Pro Bowl needs to go back to how the Pro Bowl was. Those were the best games ever. Like Sean Taylor, those were the best highlights of his career were in those Pro Bowl games. But now that you don't have that, you're not going to have any good stuff going on anymore. I mean, flag football, it's just not that good. And the NFC won, which is one of the first times in many years.
The NFC won?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's the first time in many, many years that the NFC has won. But I think they need to go back to the old games, which I get that they stopped doing that because of people getting injured and stuff. But you have an entire offseason to get healthy from getting injured in those Pro Bowl games. So, I don't get the process of it. But it's whatever.
And then you got LeBron. He breaks the scoring record in the third quarter, and then he leaves to have his team lose, and they're still fighting for the playoffs. That's how selfish he is.
Yeah, they lost to the freaking Oklahoma City Thunder. Besides Shea Gillis, the Thunder are terrible. They're awful. You should not, if you're trying to make a playoffs, you should not do this. He left the game for 10 minutes, sits on the bench, and they lose the game. That just shows you how much he cares about his stats more than he cares about winning. Even if they traded for people this trade deadline, which it won't even matter in the long run because they're not going to make the playoffs in the first place because LeBron cares more about his stats than any of his or any winning games and stuff, which is just stupid, I think.
Yep.
This is why he's not the greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. If he would play defense, and was as dominant as Jordan and Kobe, then I'd have him up in there. But now he's just not. Next up, we're going to be talking about how the Nets traded away their whole team.
Well, the Nets weren't doing anything with them, so they might as well just try starting a rebuild. And Kyrie goes to the Mavericks. They're going to be pretty good with Luka, but Kyrie's never going to touch the ball because Luka's kind of ball hog.
I think he'll still be maybe the rest of the Mavericks team won't touch the ball between Luka and Kyrie, but I think those two combined, they'll make a good duo if Kyrie stops being a baby and stops from getting hurt.
And then you got KD to the Nets. The Nets are like
Not to the Nets, to the Suns.
to the Suns. Yeah, no. The Suns get so close every year, but I just don't think they have like that good enough person on their team to get them to the. If KD steps it up, he could help them a lot.
Yeah, they've made it to the NBA championship last 2 years, and they just need that one person to set them over the edge to win a championship. And with Kevin Durant, if he can stay healthy, 100% they win the championship, like no doubt. But what I think is really pathetic is how the Bulls lost to the Nets after the Nets traded away their two best players and are starting a rebuild. Like, that is just so pathetic. The Bulls should just trade away their team. Like, if you really can't beat a Nets team that's making a rebuild, you should just. That's just pathetic. That is more than pathetic.
Yep, that's so pathetic. Next up, we have Purdue losing to IU.
I knew they were going to lose to IU, kind of. Like, they didn't show up to play in the first half. What'd you expect? And at Bloomington, that's just a really hard game. And when you don't show up the first half, there's nothing you can do to win that game. But they play them later this month at Purdue Stadium, and I think at Mackey, and I think they'll win this game. They should win this. They better win this game, and they better win this game by a lot, just to prove that they are that dominant team in the league. And then they won this week against Iowa, and they beat them by a fair amount, they beat them by 15, which is what they needed to do after that loss to IU, to show that they are the most dominant team in the Big Ten. But they should get better sooner. Thank you, and see you again next time.